Hello and welcome back. And have you noticed that time is flying? Am I the only one who was shocked that September is coming in a few days? I know. What happened to 2021? Let's talk about slowing time down or speeding it up if that's what you need to do. So here I am, still in lockdown, and I'm not going to talk about that anymore because the numbers are, in a stepwise manner, coming the right way in my state. So that's it. Good news. I'll take it. That was good news today. A little bit of good news yesterday, so I'll take that. And we'll hold it there. Hopefully by the time we get out of lockdown, I'll be able to have another couple of inches chopped off my hair because I've now decided it's too long, even though it's shorter than it was for so long. Okay, a little bit of housekeeping before I start. There have been some issues with people not getting notified when I put up a video, and I've had a look at it, and the only thing you can do is to go back into where you subscribe, check that little bell, go across, push that little bell and go up to the top one. Just by some chance it's fallen off being all notifications and is only giving you whatever YouTube chooses to give you. So that's my only suggestion, that when you touch the bell you get three choices. You get the one with the little ringer on it, which is the one you want. Okay, enough said. Try that. Second thing is thank you for all your fabulous comments, and I read them all, but I haven't got to them all this time, and I did last time, but I've been busy. I know, lockdown, who knew? But yeah, so apologies to the people I didn't get to. Thank you for all your fabulous comments. To the woman who thinks I should get rid of the table in the window, love you, but that table holds a lamp, which, it's a lamp table. It's not just there for itself, and I never use overhead lights. I only ever use ambient lighting, so I just like it more. I'm not good at these bright overhead lights, and yeah, so that's why that's there, because it has a lamp on it and it's part of the way I light my space. And lighting, oh, we'll talk about that another day. Lighting, and I'm going to write that down, lighting, because it's such a huge part of style and design. But today I want to talk about something much more everyday, constantly, all the time. Okay, this whole September thing is really interesting. Blink and it's September, and I was reading something the other day about exactly this, about why is time going so fast, because I like to research these things, and the general agreement is that most people in the Western world, and I'm not making any comment about anything anywhere else, we're finding that time is flying. The thing is that, particularly for us in Melbourne now, we're about, sort of like 220 odd days in lockdown out of the last 14 months. It's a long time. It's not consecutively, though there were some really long ones. There was I think 4-month one last year. That was pretty tough. But the point is that when you have those sorts of days, then it's same. It is actually just the same as yesterday. It distills down to pretty much the same thing every day. Now, I know, I can hear you. You're all saying, but Deirdre, you say that, we should lean into our routines and use them to automate our lives, to make things easier, reduce the friction, do all of... Yes, I know, I do. And I'm not going back on that. I'm just saying that as well as having a fabulous evening routine that sets you up for the day, the next day, as well as having a really nice way to start your day in the morning. Now, those things I'm not saying to change, but what I am saying is that in order to slow down the rapid descent into the end of the year, we need to shake it up a bit. You need to do something different. Now, if you are in a situation like mine, and people in New Zealand are at the moment, obviously Melbourne is, parts of Sydney are, we won't go there, I don't make political comments. See the smile? Anyway, yeah, and other parts around the world. But I think even people who are in areas where there's more freedom, and they feel safe with that, because a lot of people in areas where it's completely free, free of restrictions, still feel that they need to be very careful about how much they expose themselves to the general community and to the environment, because their own feelings of safety. So we're all sort of in some variation of this. Now, one of the things that my sort of looking into this said was the way that you do it is you switch things up. If you want to slow time down again, you need to put in time markers, like, yeah, air quotes. I know they're not time markers, but you know what I mean. That you go, okay, that was the day I did X, and so it will stand out, and you will not feel like all the days are the same and we're just rushing forward. Now, this can be as little as when you go for your walk, you know, you turn right instead of left when you come to that fork in the path, and you always turn left. Now, look, I'm not saying go off and get lost rambling in the woods. You know what I mean? Take that metaphorical other path, and it helps sort of put markers on the days. Now, you can walk in a different park. You can walk the other way, literally, anti-clockwise around your clockwise track. Simple as that. Can give you a whole different perspective on something. A girlfriend and I used to walk the Wild Cherry Loop, we called it. It was a good sort of 4.5k walk from our home. Homes, we were next door neighbours, and we'd get to the point where we'd go around the loop, the Wild Cherry Loop, and we'd say, which way did we go the other day? Because we'd always try to unwind and go the opposite way the next time we did it. And the number of times that we would say, oh, that's new, and the other of us would say, no, it's always been there. You know, something in a field, whatever. It was just a slightly different perspective, gives you a slightly different perspective. So those sorts of things actually, well, they sound sort of really prosaic. It actually makes a difference. Now, the other thing that you could do is switch up your meals. Like, decide you're going to have a go at sort of a different cultural cuisine, perhaps. One that's always challenged you. You know, I'm not saying go dramatic or spend a fortune. I'm simply saying that gives your taste buds a bit of a zhuzh as well, instead of same, you know, Tuesday is pasta night sort of thing. So yeah, whether you order in, and that's not a bad thing occasionally, I'm not completely against it, though you would think I was because of the way I do cook and carry on about from scratch. But no, order in from a good alternative cuisine, and you know, make sure that you choose things that are going to be a step up from your normal sort of taste bud challenge, but not a leap into the unknown or off the precipice. Okay, just a couple of things. Something else you could do. For example, yesterday, a friend of mine, he sent me a text and he said, wow, look at this. He said, strawberries are $4 a kilo, which is very, very cheap for us. And they might be cheap for anywhere, actually. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's very cheap for us, and they are beautiful. If you are following me on Instagram, and I'd love you to, you will see I posted on this, and I made, and this is the ta-da moment, I made my first reel. Now, yes, I know Andrea, she is the queen of reels, girlfriend. Yes, I know, I'm really slow and I'm not really good at it, and I will try harder, but I did my first one. That's what had been holding me back. So now I've sort of broken out of that part of my comfort zone, and so now I'm not saying that my comfort zone has now got a loop, you know, a little wiggle in it that says, you know, reels. I feel comfortable doing reels. I'm not saying that, but it's given me a little bit of I can do this. It's not that scary, and I'll have a go at getting better at it. That will give me something else to do while we stay here in this sort of twilight zone of lockdown. The other thing, of course, I did with all of those strawberries, and yes, I did put them in my belly, but mainly I gave them a really good wash. I then dried them really well, and then I just put them on trays and with a good distance apart, and froze them like that, just quickly, and then took them out and put them in bags. And that's the old free flow method, where if you freeze anything from meatballs through to hamburger patties through to berries, so that they're not touching when you freeze them, then you pop them into whatever container you'll use in your freezer for long-term storage. And for strawberries it's about 6 months, according to my fruitologist friend. Then you don't end up with that big clunky mass of this was a bag full of strawberries and I'm going to have to hit it with a hammer to get some off to put in my smoothie, which is what these will be used for. Oh, well, and you know, sauces and desserts and things. But so I froze the whole lot, virtually. All right, I probably froze a kilo of them, maybe a little bit more. Maybe I had some of the rest. Maybe I froze 1.2 kilo. But yes, so that was something I did that was different. And I did say to follow me on Instagram, didn't I? And the link is down there in the description. But I'd love to see you. And just because it's another place that I wave out to you, you don't see my face talking to you. It's okay. You just tend to get pictures of my life. What else? You could learn a skill. For example, you will know that I can knit, and I don't crochet. I know. It's just something I've never learnt. My mother didn't. She did teach herself when she was older, but it's not something I've learnt to do. So I think that might be my next little challenge. You know, if you're watching Sue's, give me some tips. Thanks. A language, obviously, huge benefit if you start learning a language, because, you know, I'm all about the brain. And yeah, that's another way of making sure that you keep active, that you set some little achievements. Achievements are a great way of marking time. It's like, oh, I got that done yesterday. So the last thing I want to say is that one of the other ways to slow down this sort of speeding of the years, or what was it that Gretchen Rubin always said years ago? I don't know if she coined it, but she certainly repeated it, that the days are long and the years are fast. I think that's what she said. That she was talking about children, and when you know, a long day with a very cross baby is a very long day, but that when you look back, the time goes in the blink of an eye. Oh my God, you know, they were babies and now they're toddlers, and now they're at school, and now they're at university, and now they're married and having more babies. You know, boom, it's happened in the blink of an eye. So one of the things that, you know, to slow down this and to also break up the slow days but slow down that speeding time, is to give yourself little jolts of dopamine. Dopamine is the thing that is released in your brain to make you feel happy. And that's a good thing. Feeling happy is a really important thing when everything seems to be pretty well mixed up and messed up a bit at the moment. I'm off the news cycle. I can't look. These don't have to be big things. Like if you say, well, I'm going to set a goal of decluttering my house. Now, it's going to take you a very long, well, you may not, but for many people it would take a significant amount of time to get there, to actually achieve that goal. So what you do is you set these baby steps, and the reason that baby steps work is you're saying to yourself, I will have achieved a goal when I have cleaned out our cupboard or my refrigerator, or reorganized the pantry, or switched out my winter clothes for my summer clothes, or vice versa. Those tiny steps, silly, insignificant, you know, little things that you do that honor your promise to yourself in a way, those little things are the things that give your brain a little jolt. Your brain will listen to you if you say, hey, I'm going to feel really good when I have done just this one thing. And you do it. And you feel better and good, and you go, I have an achievement. That's it. The reason that little achievements feel good is you just had a little zhuzh of dopamine. Perfectly legal, made in your own body, and yeah, makes you feel good. So there you are. They are my tips for slowing time down a little so that we won't be in 2022 tomorrow. I can't guarantee it won't feel like next week, but that's as much as I can do. Break it up. Do something a bit new, give yourself a little bit of a zhuzh of dopamine by having some little baby achievements on your journey towards your big goals, and if nothing else, you'll be able to say, hey, I've actually achieved some things, I've tried something new, my life is a little bit broader, I've moved my comfort zone out a few steps. And that's always a good thing, because you never know, you might move it a few more in another month. Well, there you are. That's my offering for today. I hope that something was useful for you in there, and that if you would like more of this, a bit of food and cooking and the occasional vlog, and I mix it up a bit, come on for the journey. And don't forget, hit that notification bell, go up one and hit the one with the little dings on the side so that the bell will ring, apparently, and that's the best I can offer you. Other than that, give me a thumbs up. My little YouTube channel loves that. And wherever you are, I hope that you are staying safe and well, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for joining me. Bye.